Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Impact Favor, Emane, Martha, Obisirio, Tracy, Eric, Adam, Baraka. If you can hear me, please can I get a thumbs up? Hi, thank you, Tracy. Anyone else can hear me? If you can hear me, can I get a thumbs up or a yes so I know I'm here? Rita, can you hear me? Emane, can you hear me? Thank you, Tracy. I need more people to respond so I know that we are ready and good to go. How's your week been? How's your week been? Thank you, Mubarak. Have you been all right? Have you been okay? Great, great, that's great. Thank you so much. Um, apologies for the time. Awesome. Thank you, Adobe. Apologies for the time it's taking for us to kick off today. Network issues, not be anybody's mate these days. So So we are going to be going on straight. So in the past two classes, the past 2 weeks, we've been, yeah, Tracy, busy is a nice thing to be. I mean, you wouldn't want to be bored, would you? I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to be bored. So in the past few weeks, we've been going over the basic Excel functions. Um, so today in this class, we are going to be going over some intermediate function. So I'm going to go in straight to sharing my screen. And please, the moment you can see my screen, please give me a thumbs up. So I'm sure that um, you can see me okay. So if you can see my Excel um, sheet, can I get a thumbs up or a yes? Can you see my Excel sheet? Am I sharing my screen now? Can you see my Excel sheets, please? Yes or no? Am I sharing my screen okay? Is anybody in the studio with me? Tracy.
Yes,
Tracy.
yes, I am.
Okay. Thank you so very much. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. All right. Can you please help me check the chats and confirm that the people who are not on the call can also see my screen?
Yes, they can too.
Okay. Thank you. All right, so in the past two classes, these are all that we have been going through. We started from the introductions, we did some, did fill, how to, flash fill and drag down. We did splits where we had data all clumped together in one row, and then we're able to use the text to function to split them into the different rows where we wanted to. We talked about the transpose, which is a special kind of paste, so we know the normal copy and paste that we do. So here we explored a special kind of pasting, which is a transpose. Here we also talked about pasting as values as well. So if you have used a formula to derive some numbers and then you wanted to copy that to another column or another sheet, so you may not be able to copy it if it's just there as a formula. So we talked about copying and pasting as values while we talked about transpose here. Then we did sort and filter, where we used for those of us who were here, where we used the PAP example to we use the laundry example to explain sort, and then we use the pap example to explain filter. And then so sort means to aggregate or to group based on a criteria. And then to filter means to take away what you do not want to see and leave the ones you want to see. Then we went on to talk about tables, how it's important that we convert our data, which usually comes in the form of a range, convert it to a table. We talked about some of the um, advantages of doing that. And if any of us here is going to be progressing to either become a data analyst or a data scientist, or take this up as a profession, you would find out that, when you're doing large analysis of data, if you have converted your data in a range to a table, it makes subsequent data wrangling, data cleaning, data modifications a whole lot easier because you do not have to fill and drag down. And then if you go on to do things like Power Query or Power Pivot, you realize that putting your data in a table most times gives you the option of adding the data straight to a data model. And adding it straight to a data model has a lot of advantages because there are some functions that are only available if data is in a data model. But this is beyond this class. I'm just saying if you're advancing. So those are some of the advantages of putting your data in a table format. It makes it more professional. Then we went on to my frozen.
No.
No, Abby, but my this thing is not okay. So we went on to talk about drop downs, where we added drop downs, and then we talked about the importance of it. So if you want to limit what people can put in, say you want to gather data about something using Excel, so you're sharing this Excel file, and you need people to choose options. That's where the drop downs come in, and then. We also progressed to inserting charts where we, played around with different kinds of, where we played around, did we, with different kinds of charts. Okay. Inserted them. We talked about the pie charts, we talked about the bar charts, we talked about the 3D charts, the column charts, stack charts. And when we come into insert here, this is where we see all the charts that are available under sorry, insert, you come under charts here in the middle ribbon. If you click on recommended charts, you'll see all these things are different kinds of charts that you can explore depending on what you want to do. And then we progress from there to pivot tables, where we talked about what pivot table does. It helps us digest large quantity of data. It's also a very, very vital tool when it comes to data analysis because it helps you answer a lot of business questions at a go. We also answered these questions in the past class. Visualize the product wine, who was the most profitable salesperson. And I remember also to further take down, you know, bring home the examples. I also asked some people in the chat to bring up some business questions they liked, and we also played around that. So, in a nutshell, this is how far we had come with the classes. So today we are going to be going into another Excel function, which is the joins function. So if you have just joined in today for the first time, you're welcome. You can see some of the things that you've missed, but it's fine. It's a free class. So I'm sure that, with running through them, you could jot them down and then, go and try to learn some more yourself. But if you feel that's going to be a bit difficult for you, there is the premium group where you can join as well, or reach out to Dahel, take his and consultants who are organizing these free classes so that you can properly register for the data analysis classes where you in depth would learn more about how to use Excel. And like I always say, I said it on the first day of the class, I said on the second day, I'm going to say it again today. If at any point you find out that you're struggling with any of the functions, please don't despair. Don't despair. Tell yourself, this is just new. It is not hard. That's my mantra. It is just new. It's not hard. If I stay on it, I'm going to learn it. This is my mantra when it comes to my work, and it has helped me a lot. So if I'm struggling with anything, I simply tell myself, Chimdi, this is not hard. It's just new. Stay on it. You will learn it. Okay, so let's get straight to it. Joins. So joins, just like every other thing, some of the things we've done is one of the Excel functions, and you can use this function. You can use this to put together. Okay, you can use this to put together more than one string. So if you have information in two different tables and you want to pull them back together, that's what you do with joins. Before we go into these ones that are looking a bit complicated, let's say that you have a table, sorry, that you have data. This is entirely different before because this example looks a bit complicated. So let's use something that is way easier to understand. So let's say you have, okay, your data is like this. You have first name, sorry, you have first name, and in another column, you have last name. Okay. Because I'm sure if you fill forms, you would find out that in some forms, the space for first name and the space for the column for first name and last name are usually in some forms are usually different. So some will ask you fill in your first name, then another place they will not ask you fill in your last name. But in some places they will just give you one box and say put in your name, first and last name. So let's say that your data, okay, has come to you in a way where you have first name. Let me use my name, Chimdema, and then last name, Onwebu. Okay. Now, but for the analysis you want to do, okay, it will be easier for you if the names are in one place and not this way. So you want a column where you just have full names, and that's the first and last name put together in one column. How do you do that? You use what we call the concatenate function. So that's the one I'm used to. We'll also try it with this ampersand and see if it works. Um, so you start with typing out concatenates, and then it's asking you, remember the next step that you're going to take when it comes to Excel formulas, Excel will always prompt you. It will always highlight it for you. So we can see that the first thing it's asking us to do after we've chosen the function we want is what is the first text you want to concatenate. You choose this, comma, and it's asking you what's the second one. You choose the second one. When you put comma, it will ask you what's the third one. So you can join data, as much data as you want, or as much text or strings as you want. But in our case now, we just have two. So we've put in the
Hello, Madam Chidema. Hello.
Hi, I can hear you. Okay, have you
So
done
so sorry to interrupt. I think we treated joints with them
joins? Okay,
the last
all right.
time. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just leave this out and
So
move to the
I
next one.
normally I was expecting them to tell you where they stopped so that you can continue from
Okay. All right. So after, okay, that's fine. Thank you for
there.
letting me.
That's
So
why I
have
dropped a
you done
link for them to join
statements?
so that they can so
So have you done if statements with them as well? Have you done if statements as well? Yes, no.
We didn't do that last.
Sorry, I didn't get what you said. Have you done if statements? I get it, you've done the joins. Thank you for letting me know. Have you done the if statements?
No, we did conditional statement, pivot table, lookup function.
Chai, the person who is speaking to me, your voice. Okay, yes, I can see. Yes, okay. So you've done the if statements. Okay. That's fine. Have you done VLOOKUPs?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
You've done VLOOKUPs. The class don't finish now. You've done SUMIF and COUNTIF.
No.
No.
Okay, so you've not done sum if and count if at all.
We have
Yeah. Okay, all right, so let's skip to that. Okay. Uh, um, please just give me 2 minutes. I'll be with you. Just give me 2 minutes. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. I'm back. All right, so let's jump up to the sum if and count ifs, right? So remember in the first class, what we did in our first class was a sum, and a sum simply means to put things together, to add up things. Sum simply means add. So the sum if and the count if are conditional sum functions. Sum if, two words put together. So if you've done if statements, okay, the sum if simply means summing up something based on a condition. What this means is that you're saying, please add up this thing for me, sum, the way you normally do your sum, but sum it only if it meets a certain criteria. So let's go straight to the data so it can make more sense. We have this little data here that has fruits and the amount, assume the amount that they were sold. Okay. And then we are looking at this data and saying, okay, let me go calculate the sum if. So we're looking at this data and we are saying, out of all these fruits that were sold, how much of it were apples? How much of it were oranges? How much of it were bananas? How much of it were lemons? So this is the business question that we want to ask. Sorry, that we want to answer. And how do we do this? We start the way we put in every Excel function. We start by putting in sum if. Sum if. And then it brings it up. You choose the function. And the first thing it's asking you to do is to choose the range of what you want to sum. What you want to sum up, where is it located? This is the data where it's located. So in other words, it's asking you, where will I find what you want me to sum? This is where you find it, comma. The next thing is asking you, what is the criteria? What is the if in this sum? And it is this, apples. We want it to sum if it's apples. So because apple is a text, we'll put it in, what do you call this now? Parentheses, comma. Then it's asking you, where is the sum range? What are the numbers that I'm supposed to add up? And this is where the numbers are located. You close. Okay, what did we do wrong? Was I supposed to highlight them all? See, no comma. Okay. Okay. It's not working correctly. Let's try and troubleshoot it and see what we're getting wrong. So sum if as the cell specified by given condition or criteria. Okay, sum if. So where is the range of data that we want to? This is the data here. This should work. What is the criteria? It's apples. Then I'll put else. Apples, comma. Where is the sum range? And that is this. And close it. Good. Okay, I guess the first time I did not add S to the apple. So that's why it didn't work. So Excel is big on spellings. So because I wrote apple, A-P-P-L-E, and I did not add S, and in this data, what it's saying is A-P-P-L-E-S. So that's why it returned it as a 0. Do we understand?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to move on to the next one. So the same procedure for them all, the same way we wrote the other one. You take the sum if function, the range of data, again you choose this, comma, the criteria, this time it will be oranges. Remember, whenever you're writing a text, you always put it in parentheses, oranges. I hope I got the spelling right this time. And then the sum range will be this, and close. So this gives us this. The same thing if it's bananas, you do same thing, sum if, what's the range, what's the criteria, BANANAS, comma, what's the range here, close, enter. Same thing with lemons, sum if. Have you got any question? Do you understand this? This is the range. The text part will always be your range when you're doing sum if. Lemons, S, comma, what's the range? This, and you, close. So this has summed this if it meets a certain criteria. And then if you want to do maybe a spot check and see if it's right, we have here apples 50, bah? So 50 plus another apples here, 50. 50 plus another apples here, 50. Sorry, plus this. Any other apple? No. So if you hit enter, you see it's 150. And that corresponds with what it's giving us here. The same thing applies to the rest of them. Now, count if. Count if, simply saying, how many times was this sold? So the sum if is saying, what is the total amount that was sold from this? Count if is saying, how many times was this thing sold to get this amount of money? So to get that, you start with typing in the count if function, and it's asking you, what's the range where the data is that you want me to count? This is where it is, comma, and it's asking you, on what criteria do you want me to do this counting? You say it's apples, count it if it's apples. You close it and enter. It's telling you apples occurred 3 times. I could decide to drag this down and see what happens. It's telling me 2 here, 2 here. Okay, so instead of typing this all over, I can just come to the formula bar and change this to oranges. I don't have to start typing all over from the beginning. That changes. And then here, I'll come down here and change this to bananas. And then change this to lemons. Did they all appear three times? As well, okay. So apples 3 times, oranges 1, 2, 3 times, okay. Bananas 1, 2, 3 times. So we can see that, in the spot check, we see that the functions are correct. So the essence of these functions is just to help us do the normal things that we would have done with our eyes and our hands and pen and paper. It helps us do it faster and with less errors. Do we have any questions at this point? Yes, I'm just seeing Chuku Omo Korea. I'm only seeing your question now, and I hope that I've answered it. Have I not? With what I've just done the last time, I've just answered it, right? Chuku Omo Korea. Have you seen why dragging down will not work? Someone asked a question. They said, I got a concern with the repetitive functions. Wouldn't drag down work for the subsequent items after imputing the formula for the apples? And that's a very valid question. And that was why I thought of that. And that was why I had to drag down the last time so that we can see that it wouldn't work. Why? Because the criteria are not the same. And you see that after I came back and changed the criteria, it now gave us the correct answer. So Chukwuemokore, are you happy? Do you understand now why the drag down won't work? Okay, I should come again with the formula. Okay, so let's go over it again one more time. Which of them, is it the sum if or the count if? Which one? Which one are we struggling with? Is it the sum if or the count if? Somebody should answer now. Which one are we struggling with? Sum if or count if? Okay, both. All right, I'll go over it. I'll go over it again. All right. I'll go. I'm still waiting for Chuku Omokore. Has he run off? Do you understand first? Do you understand why dragging down or filling down will not work? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for confirming. I just wanted to be sure that you're clear. All right, so I'll go over this one more time, if that's okay. I'll go over this one more time. Please do pay attention, all right? So I'll take this off so we can start all over again. So I explained that sum if, let me use this data now. Let me tell a story with this data so it can drive home the points. Let me take somebody's name from the group and name of the person who is saying they don't understand. Adobe, okay, no vex. I'm going to use your name, okay? So Adobe has this very giant and massive shop that sells fresh fruits. In column A are the list of fruits that Adobe sells in her shop. Now, Adobe has given this Excel sheet to her front desk officer or receptionist or whoever, or maybe she does it herself. So anytime an apple is a fruit is sold, they enter it in column A, and then they enter how much that was sold or the quantity that was sold in column B. So once any customer comes and buys anything, Adobe will enter the data, the name of what was bought in column A, and enter how much was sold in column B. Now, this is everything that has been sold in Adobe's shop yesterday night. And this morning, Adobe has woken up and she wants to find out how did it go? What did I sell? How much did I sell? And what fruits did I sell today? So on this small table here, we have in column KL here, Adobe wants to find out how much did I make from apples today? You see, at the end of the day, let's do a sum that we know equals to sum here and close. Adobe made a total of 510 naira from fruits. Adobe made a total of 510 naira today from fruits. Okay. And she wants to know how much out of this 510 naira did I sell from Apple. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted, so let me put this off. So the summing function is what Adobe would use to find out how much she sold from apples alone. And to use the summing function, you put in the equal to sign and you start typing sum if. You choose that function. The first thing you need in this formula is to choose the range where your data is. And always remember that when you're using the sum if, the range means where the data is, and most times it also means what is the what is the non-numerical value. Is it called dimension? I'm not sure what the word is now. So the range here, you can choose to select your entire data. It works just fine. You can also choose to select only the column that has the name. So, comma, what is the criteria? It is apples. You have to be careful with your spellings because if you miss one letter, Excel will not recognize what you mean. So instead of apples and you write apple, Excel will not understand it. You saw I made that mistake earlier, the first time I did it, where I wrote apple instead of apples, and Excel returned the 0. Correctly so, because there is no apple here. What we have here is apples. So then it's asking what is the sum range. This is where you have the numbers that you want to add up. And you close, enter. This gives you the sum if it is only apple. And here we can see that apple here 50. I did the example here. Apple here 50. Another apple here 50. That's 100. Another apple here 50. That's 150. So without you, let's say, because this data is small, okay, we can afford to actually count it this way. What if Adobe Store was so big that the fruits that were sold were up to like 1,000 fruits in a day? Adobe cannot possibly start, going through this to do one by one. She will definitely make mistakes. So that is where the summing function comes in. And then you can do the same for the rest of them. Now, if you drag this down, remember that the criteria is not the same. So you come here and change this criteria. so that you don't start typing from beginning again. You just change this to oranges. Be careful about spellings. One more time. Enter. That changes it to oranges. You come back here, change it to bananas. That gets you the figure for bananas, and you come and change this to lemons. Are we okay with the sum if function now? Does it make more sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Can I see that in the comment section as well? Does it make more sense now? Adobe, are you happy now? Are you happy with the sum if function now? Mary Okoy, are you happy with the sum if function? Can we try using cell K5 instead of apples? Maybe we don't need to edit it before dragging down. It's possible. It is possible. Let's try and see what happens. But I decided to use that so that we can know what it is, what the criteria is. It will work, definitely. Yes, it will work. The reason I went that route is so that you understand the nitty-gritty of it. Of course, anytime you reference a cell, Excel understands that better. So for the COUNTIF, the same thing, COUNTIF. The COUNTIF is simply saying, how many times did this occur? SUMIF is saying, how much did this occur? So in the COUNTIF function, it's asking you for the range of your data, what you want me to count, this, and what's the criteria. So since we now understand the basics, we can use reference the cell. And that works okay. Are we happy with this? Okay. Is there anyone um Land Rover. Okay. So let's do some more practice here. So we've used this now to do the COUNTIF. Let's do a SUMIF. Let's do a SUMIF and a COUNTIF for these car brands. So which brands would you want us to do a sum and a count for? Can I just see in the chat? Two people mention 3 brands that you want us to do a sum and a count for. Who likes Land Rover? Thank you, Marvelous. Who is in the studio with me? Oh yeah, choose car. Which one? Me, I like Lexus. So we'll do a counting for Lexus and a SUMIF as well. And I'll need somebody to help me write out what I should do here. Land Rover, and BMW. Be my wife. Oh yeah. Somebody should type in
There's,
the chat section. Sorry. Okay. Do you want to
Toyota.
guide me?
I'm calling from what they are using right now in the chat.
Hello. Hello. See now, Keke. Do we have Keke here? I can't see. Oh, Keke is here. Ngwan, let's change that over to Keke, Jare. Ngwan, no. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so in the comment section, in the chats, can someone put in the formula for what would you do if you are going to do a countif for Keke? I'll leave this on so that you can be seeing it before I move my screen around. I'll give us 2 minutes to do that, then I'll check the chats. I want the formula. Somebody give me a formula for county for Keke and summy for Keke. Are we done? Sky God. Okay, let me check the chats now. Count if E20 to E31 is Keke. Let's see. That sounds nice. Count if E20 to E. Oh, sorry, that was my mistake. It wouldn't be a 31, it would be a 35. I didn't have this all screwed up to the one, but you are correct based on what you saw. You are correct. So yes, count if E30 to E31. Okay, that's correct. Well done. And if it's a sum if it's a sum if, I'll give another 30 seconds, then I'll go to the chats to check. Okay, I'll check the chats now. Sum if A23 to A35 is Keke, B23 to B35. Okay, let's see. Sum if A23. Oh no, the data is not in A. So that's not correct. You got the principle right, but you got the columns wrong. Sum if E20 to E35. It's Keke. Then F20 to E35. No. This is not correct. Now again, you understand the logic and the principle. Adobe, you understand the logic and the principle, and that's great, but you've mixed up the columns. So the range column is in column E. So it should be E20 to E35. And then for the sum range should be F20 to F35. I mean, I am so glad that we understand the principle. We just need to now pay attention to where the data is. Okay. So we all understand the principle, and that's amazing. Okay, so we all understand the principle. So for the keke would be, for a count if would be, you start typing your count if. What is the range? It's here, because this is where you will see the keke, comma. And what's the criteria? Keke. So there are two of them. Okay, and then if we drag this down, because we did not use, because we said keke, it wouldn't pick that up. So we changed this to BMW. But if we had referenced the cell, then that would have what did I just do? Okay, I changed this to
You
BMW.
changed the wrong thing.
I changed the wrong one. Okay. Most times that's why doing a hardcore referencing is not very helpful. Okay. So there are just two of them each, really. Okay. So let's see if it's the same thing for Lexus. Count if this, comma, is equals to Lexus. So all of them are 2 them there. Okay. So sum if, the same thing. We do a sum if. Now, the reason why I had to give us the chance to try and do this is that I know from experience that watching these things and thinking that you've understood it, it's actually different from trying it out yourself. When you are now down to do it yourself, you find out that you really didn't really understand it. So that's why I had to give us the chance to try and think it out. Okay, what's the criteria? Lexus. And what's the sum range? This. Close. And that's how much we made from Lexus. And if we drag this down, because we referenced the cell, it's brought it down. Does this drive home the message?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Any questions at all on this? Any questions at all on this? If you have any questions, ask now. Okay, I need to stop sharing for a bit. Stop screen. I need to stop sharing for a bit, so let me sort out. Is there anybody who had any question from? Is there any question anybody who had any question from the previous ones? You did VLOOKUP. Did you do XLOOKUP? Did you do anything on
No,
XLOOKUP?
No, we
No.
didn't.
no.
Okay. So would you want to explore that? That's the most modern lookup. Did I say most modern? Since I found out XLOOKUP, I'm just putting VLOOKUP away. Rubbish VLOOKUP. That is always giving me stress. Sorry, 1 second. I'm trying to. Who did he send this thing to? Oh, okay. Let's explore. Let's explore VLOOKUP. Sorry, not VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP. I can't find what you're saying. Okay, so let me share this again and oof, what a day. I'll try sharing my screen again. I don't know why it's all this network downtime is it's not been nice. It's not been nice. It's not been helpful at all. Especially for those of us who work online. Is this different from the other one? Sorry, please just give me a couple of minutes, please. I'm trying to sort out my, can't find. It's not here. Okay. So I'll share my screen again and then okay, all right. Thank you for the feedback. I'll share my screen again and then we'll try XLOOKUP. I'll get you a Starlink. Okay, oh, I don't know what Starlink is. Actually, I didn't know Mr. David had done some of the things, that I have set up. So that's cut short my plan for the class. So sorry, that's why it looks as if I'm trying to scout around for things to do. Okay, that's fine. So where's the VLOOKUP, brethren? All right. So for those of you who are in the studio with me, did Mr. David share with you some of the troubles with VLOOKUP? Did he? There are some
Not at
rules.
all.
None at all. Okay.
No.
So with VLOOKUP, okay, can you guide me? Okay, somebody in the studio, just guide me. How do I look up POC here? Oh yeah, guide me. What do I do? Guide me with the VLOOKUP. Mr. David had taught you.
VLOOKUP,
VLOOKUP.
the lookup, the POC,
This one.
yeah,
Okay.
the table array. Select your table. If it has name.
Select everything from here.
No, from beef.
From beef. Okay. Like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then our column index number. Where you're looking for the amount. What? That's two.
Okay. So what do I write?
Two.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
Comma.
Comma.
Yeah. The exact match. False.
False. Okay. Then I'll close it, enter, and that returns a 10, and that's correct. That's correct. Okay. So let's say that I have I want to find out okay, let's say 80. Okay, let me convert this to money accounts. Okay. So I want to find out what is it that I sold for $80. How do I do this? It's VLOOKUP, so let's go. Somebody guide me.
Using VLOOKUP,
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So we want to look up what, what was sold for 80 $80 here.
So that's equal to VLOOKUP
Equal to VLOOKUP. Mm-hmm.
B17
Sorry,
to B24, B17 to B24.
B17 to B20. I should select this
Yes, select from 50 to 89.
from beef to here.
No, B from 50 to 89.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Escape.
Okay, no, look up value. Sorry, look up value is 80.
Okay. So I should put back VLOOKUP like this.
Can we start again? Equal to
Yes,
VLOOKUP.
VLOOKUP. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
80, that's
The lookup value.
A27.
Mm-hmm. Comma.
Yeah. Then A17 to B24,
Okay. Comma.
comma,
Mm-hmm.
comma,
Mm-hmm.
column index 1,
1, comma.
comma, range lookup A17 to
No, the next thing
A24.
should be whether it's true or approximate match.
Okay, true. Approximate match.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, not approximate,
Okay.
exact match.
Exact match. That's false now. That's what I chose. Exact match is false, but it didn't work. Exact match is false. I can put it again for you to see. So true is approximate match, false is exact match. You see, it's not going to work. And the reason is because, please pay attention, especially, I mean, if you're never going to go into data analysis, you don't need to bother. But if you're going to go into data analysis, you need to understand what I'm about to explain. VLOOKUP can only look up values that are on the left side of your data set and return values that are on the right side of your data. I'll say that again very slowly. VLOOKUP can only look up values that are on the left side of your data and return values on the right side. It cannot look up data from the right side of the data to return what is on the left. Now, the first question would be,
Sorry, please,
what
can you
is,
repeat that?
yes, I
Okay.
know, I understand. It was very confusing for me as well. So I'm going to explain it again. The first thing to understand now would be, what is the left side and what is the right side of a table? We have a table here with two columns, right? Column A and B. The right side of this column is the columns that are towards your right. And on my side where I'm sitting, it is column B. Column B is on my right. Column A is on my left. So we could say that data in Excel moves from left to right. Data in Excel moves, just know that it moves from left to right. So anything that is going towards A is going towards the left. Anything that is going towards B is going towards the right. We need to understand this. Especially if you started doing those, if anyone here is in the data analysis class, go, where you are beginning to do SQL, then you begin to appreciate left and right because of where you'll be doing left join and right joins in SQL. So what I'm trying to explain now, bear in mind now that the left side of this data is column A and the right side of this data is column B. VLOOKUP can only look up information that is on the left side and return a corresponding value towards the right, which is what happened with the first one. It looked up information which is POC, that is on the left side of the data, and returned information about it towards the right. But when we tried it the other way, we tried to look up information that is on the right side of the data, asking it to return for us information that is on the left. It could not. So I think that is why I always prefer XLOOKUP, because XLOOKUP does not bother whether your data is on the left or on the right wherever it is, it just returns your information for you straight away. So since I found out XLOOKUP, I ditched VLOOKUP since years ago. So how do you do XLOOKUP? Very similar, same way. It's equals to XLOOKUP. What is our lookup value? This one now wey no gree work. Okay, this one wey no gree work now, maybe we for put am here. Equals XLOOKUP. What is the lookup value? This is our lookup value here, comma. What is your lookup array? So lookup array is, where is this information? This thing that you have just chosen now in A27, where is it located in your table? It is located here, comma. Where is the return array? What you want me to return for you, where is it located on this table? It's located here, comma. Excel is saying, okay, thank you for that information. What if I cannot find what you're asking me to look for? What should I do? Personally, I always ask it to leave it blank. Putting two inverted commas together like this means blank. And you want an exact match or whatever, all those languages, just give me an exact match, no vex. Close. And you see that it's returned it. So XLOOKUP does not bother whether your data is on the left side or the right side. It returns it for you regardless of where it is. So if you're going to be using VLOOKUPs, you need to bear in mind whether your information is on the right side of the table or on the left side of the table before you start using. I just thought to give that as a free bonus. It's not here in this place. There's also another alternative to this.
Sorry, please, can you repeat that? Because why did you put that double quotes on the space?
Because this formula asks you for what it should do if it does not see the data. So this here is your lookup value. This here is your lookup array. This here is your return array. This here is, if it does not see it, what should it do? And the double quotation without space means blank in the Excel world. The same way, if you do something like this, if you put quotation mark like this, it means space. If you did the joins class with Mr. David, you would have noticed this, where putting leaving a space between a double quotation means space. So the same way, closing it together means blank. So that's what it stood for. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So there is also another cheat sheet. There's also another function that looks like it, that is called HLOOKUP. I'm not going to do that. So try and see if you can do that yourself. Learn that up yourself. So we've got 30 minutes. Let me stop sharing again and grab another data set and see what else we can do. I'm not sure if 2019 will have XLOOKUP. I'm not sure really. I don't even know what version I have, to be frank. I don't even know what version, but if it's not there, because I know it's not that new, but it is fairly recent. I think it's an upgrade to the VLOOKUP. So if you can't see it, maybe your version hasn't got it. So if you want to do extra, shall lookup, HLOOKUP, and it has the same principle. I thought I just saved this thing now. Today is one kind day like that. Enable editing. Okay. I think we'll move this to the next class. I think we should move this to the next class. Yep. We should. Okay. So let's do one more thing. Let's do one more thing, and then I'll take some questions and call it a day. Okay. So I'll share this screen now. We'll do this one more thing, and then we will call it a day. Till the next class. Okay, so let me share this. I've been able to get what I've been looking for.
Yeah. Which one? Yes, I found it.
See the Lord, praise God in his sanctuary, praise him in the cloud. Okay. Can you please confirm that you can see my sheet called, written trim function? Can you see that?
Can't see at the moment.
You're not seeing it yet?
Yes.
No,
I'm not sharing anything.
no.
Let me stop sharing and share again. So present, share screen, entire screen, share, and then I've opened this file. Is it up now?
Not yet.
Yeah, we'll run again. Can you see this one? The one that is saying now solve the following.
No.
Why do I keep having this thing? Does it time out or what? So what can you see?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Just our face.
Your fine faces. Oh, wow. I don't know again, no. Share entire screen. This is how to share now. See not? This is how I've been sharing since now. Why did I? Oh. Is it sharing now? No, 1 minute. I've not opened it. Is it up now?
No.
I don't know what else to do. Mr. David, are you here? Or Kausarat? Is anyone from the Hell Takers here? No. Because my fear now is if I leave and Mr. David is not here, if I say let me go out and come back, Mr. David has to be here to add me back to this thing. And it's showing me that I'm sharing my screen. It's telling me I'm sharing my screen. StreamYard.com is sharing your screen and audio. So I don't know what else to do. I guess we'll just pack up for today. Because if this is not working, then there's nothing else left to do. I can't just talk without showing. It won't make sense. Combine data tab, join the, no, it's not. Share window. Let me see if this will make it any easier. Share this and see if it works. Is it up now?
No. Not yet.
Not yet. Wow. Technology and its wahala. I'm not sure there's any other thing I can do. Let me try ringing Mr. David. I've tried sharing my entire screen, which is what I've been doing all the while, and it didn't work. Now I've shared just the window of the file that I want to share with you, and it's also not working. So my people will say, Amarazim, what to do. Close this recent tab. Okay. I should close it. Exit this particular interface. Which one? I should close all the files and reopen them again. Is that what you're saying? I've closed it. Okay. All right. So I should try sharing again. Do I open it? Do I close it and open it again? Okay. What are you saying, please? What's the view you're saying? Yeah, I'm happy to exit and reconnect, but the problem is that I don't think Mr. David is here to add me back to the stage. Or is that something anybody else can do? Because if he's not here to add me to the stage, then I can't continue. Close the panelist view. Oh, church. Which one is panelist view again? No. Close the panelist view. Okay. Where is panelist view? Where are you? I think we should just stop. I don't know what else to do. I just hate wasting time and I've got a lot of things to do. I'll try this one more time. If it still doesn't work, then we'll end it here today. Is it up now?
No.
No.
No. It's just so annoying how StreamYard will be telling me you're sharing your screen and I'm not truly sharing it. Where do I find the panelist view, please, so I can exit it? Okay, the one showing Chinasa, Tracian. Okay, how do I, closing it means I'm leaving the studio. That's what it means. If I close it, I'll leave the studio. Let me leave for a minute and see if I'll be able to come back. Hiya. Can you all hear me again? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Oh, thank you very much. So long. Ooh, I don't know. It's been one kind day today. So let me try presenting it again and see if it works. If it doesn't work, we'll go and sleep. And then and see how it goes when we wake up tomorrow.
Yeah, it's working now.
Glory to God. Okay. So let me bring this clean function here. You also do it at once. Okay. All right. So we are going into what's called data cleaning and modeling. So data cleaning simply means, those of us in the chat, are we happy? Are we all right? All right. Thank you, Chibuzo. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, everybody. I mean, so you people really, really stayed all this while. This thing is serious, so a serious matter with this. And I'm glad because Excel is something you really, really need no matter what you do. Okay. So data cleaning, data cleaning and modeling is an essential part. We'll see. So it's an essential part of being an analyst. Jesus Christ, just give me 2 minutes. Sorry, I have to pacify my baby. No vex. I'm sorry. So to get data cleaned, can you still all hear me? Sorry, my baby came in. I had to call someone to be with her. Forgive me, no vex. It's part of being motherhood. So can you still confirm that you can hear me, please?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. All right. So when it comes to data cleaning, one of the things you need to do is to trim your data. And trimming, was taken from a normal day-to-day thing. For those of us who are familiar with some of the fashion terms, so after you've, finished sewing the cloth, most times you need to trim out some of the extra clothes, some of the extra materials, so that the thing will be clean. Trimming also comes when you go to braid your hair. After they finish braiding it, they use scissors again to, cut off the extra attachments, or use candle lights to burn off the extra attachments so it can be clean. The same thing applies to data. Sometimes when you get data, when I click on this, let's go to, keep your eye on the formula bar here. Okay. You would see that some data could have leading or trailing spaces. They would have space at the beginning. This one hasn't got any. No, this is not for trimming. This data is not for this should be proper. There's an error on the side of this. Okay, I'll teach all at the same time. Let me put in some spaces here. So you find out that some data could have, more than one space in between, like what I'm doing now. This should be a mislabel. Like what I'm doing now. So when you put your cursor, like what I have done here. Now take a look at this. You see that the space in between Joseph and Smith is more than what it should be. And when you come to Cardi A and put your cursor here, you see that there is a space after A before where you can see the cursor blinking. Unlike when you come to Garibosi, when I put the cursor here, you see that it goes straight and it's close to Y. So there's no space there. But it's not the same when you come here. You see that after Z, which is the last letter, there is a space there. This is called a trailing space. And when you look at Elkanah, I just added a leading space here because you see that there is a space between where where the cursor is and where the first letter starts. So these things are spaces in your data that could mess up what you're looking for. For example, since we have this Joseph Smith here, let me write Joseph Smith here and show you something. Joseph Smith. Now, we have done the if statement, right? Sorry, we may go over by 10 minutes so we can make up for the time that we lost. So I'm just saying this in case you have anything planned. So we'll end, 10 minutes later than we should have. So there'll be about 10 minutes past 2 for those of us in Nigeria. So you can see that this is Joseph Smith, right? And this is Joseph Smith as well. We have done the if statement, okay, where we use the if statement to test a condition. All right, so let's use the if statement now to test this condition and see if these two are the same. They may be the same though, but let's try and see. If this logical test, if this is equal to this, that's if what is in A10 is the same thing as what is in B10, comma, that's our logical test. Please write true, comma, and if it's not true, if it's not the same, please write false. And we close it. And you see it's telling us that this condition is false. Anybody,
Yeah.
can you see it's false?
Yes.
Despite the fact that we have the same, this is the same first name, is the same last name, the same spelling, nothing was missed. But the fact that there is a space in between, Excel sees a space as a character. That is why when you do, when you were doing in the join, when we talked about the inverted commas, writing this thing like this and writing it like this are not the same when it comes to Excel, because this space you have given in between is recognized by Excel as a character. So that's why one of the first things you need to do when you get a data set, especially if you're progressing after this, that's if you're not just learning this for maybe your business or something, if you're progressing to become a data scientist or become a data analyst and use this to make money, then you need to know this, because this could be messing around with your data and you are seeing this thing, it is here, but you're filtering for it, but you can't find it. So how do you take off all these extra spaces? You put equal to and type trim. We'll notice that the time it takes to explain this thing is way bigger than it's way bigger than doing the job itself, but it's so that we can understand what we need to do. This is the most important thing. Understand it, because you can always get these things from anywhere. All these formulas, you can get it from anywhere, but the explanations you may not get from anywhere. So we can see that it has now cleaned this data up. He has taken up all the, you can see this Joseph Smith that has so much space inside it. You see that he has taken it out. Adeyemi, Elkanah that has space before, it has taken it out. But then there's something that should be here. I can't find it here. Substitute. There are lots of other functions here. It's not here. And you need to know it. So we'll do that one and then we close. Still using this. Something is wrong with this data. Can somebody tell me something is wrong with this data? What's wrong with it?
They have alphabetical arrangement.
Yes, alphabetical
Capital letters
arrangement.
and
Exactly, exactly. So this data is dirty. It needs to be cleaned. Okay, so it needs to be clean. And when it comes to, sorry, because I say clean, I've gone to the clean tab. Now, when it comes to alphabets like this, we say that this is improper. So the presentation of the characters are improper. So if you want to make it become proper the way it ought to be, we use a function called proper. You see, Excel has so many functions. Yesterday, was it yesterday? No, it wasn't yesterday. Today, yes, was yes, or was it 2 days ago? I can't remember. I was in a global Excel summit. I attended a global Excel summit, and I didn't know that there were even far more functions. I saw so many functions I'd never used in my life before. Maybe because in my workplace I don't need them, so I've never really had to come across them. So there are just so many functions in Excel. So you use proper to adjust this so that the characters will be the same. You choose this, and then it characterizes it the way it ought to be. Can you see now? So everything has come the way it should be. So this is part of data cleaning. So here we have used the trim function, and we have also used the proper function. Any questions on this? Any questions? Any questions on this, on the trim function and proper function?
No.
No. Okay. That's fine. I'm looking at the chats. Any question? Those of us who are not trim function, proper function, yes, gifts. Any question? No, Chibuzo, thank you for the feedback. Can I get like 2 or 3 more no's? Then we can proceed to the clean. I didn't really prepare for this one, so if we mess up together. Because the ones I prepared, Mr. David didn't tell me I'd already thought it. All right. So here we are going to be using the clean function. So we can see this data. It has some characters that are not normal. It has some characters that are not normal. Sorry, 1 minute. What are these ones? What are these ones? Number alpha placing. Okay. So let's see what happens if we use the clean function here. I've never really had to use this. Let's see how it works. Select this, Abby, close it, enter. Now there's something I want you to see. Sorry. All of these are small tricks, that will make your life easier in Excel. Did you see that this small box here, before, if we tap on it like this, it should have filled it down, right? Why do you think it didn't fill it down?
Because you didn't convert the data set to a table, I guess.
Okay.
you fill it down because where you have you're working with is not on the same table you have your where you got the left side. They are not
Okay.
together, they are separated with
Separated,
columns.
yes, because there is a space in between here and here. That's why it did not. But if you drag it down, it will. If you drag it down, it will. Okay. Okay. So I don't understand what this remove duplicates is doing. There's something like duplicates here. So this is how to clean, because sometimes your data, what we are trying to show here is that sometimes your data could come in very different ways. You understand? It could come in so many different ways. There are so many debts that could come into your data, like what we have here. So with the clean function, it takes it off so that Excel can understand this as a text that it is. The same thing here. If you try to, let's see, if we try to sum this thing, what will happen? What would it do? I've never tried this before. Like I always say, see, it's a 0. And I'm thinking it's because it has this, abnormal characters in between it. But let's try and clean this data. Why are the fonts here so large? Let's try and clean this data. I didn't ask you to do this one, it's okay. And then try to sum it and see what happens. Still does not, it's still not happy with it. Now,
Yeah, the
we need
data is
to,
still not clean.
okay, why is it not clean?
It's
Why?
still seeing the numbers as a test, not as a value.
Okay, that's correct. So how do we change it to value?
We use the value function.
We use the value function, which is in another, I think that's here, which is in another class. And I think that should even be brought up to this side so that everything is teaching itself, in a row. Okay, so you use the value function to change it to values. So let's try and see. But what was it asking us to total it when it knows it's not a value? Learning too many things at the same time. Let's try and use the value function and see. So standardize the following set of unclean data and see what happens. Try using the text to column function aside the value formula. Okay. So our auntie said we should use a value. What is the text? This. And it changes it to value. And because there's space in between here, we drag this down. So always know that in Excel, that something is numerical does not mean it is a number. And that something is characterized, is that the English, or written in alphabets, does not mean most times that it's seen as a text. So you would have to standardize the data. So if, for instance, if you had something like this and you try to add it up and it's not working, then just like, the person who spoke last said, it's seeing it as a text. And from the little I know, most times, not most times, texts are aligned to the left. Am I right or wrong? And numbers are aligned to the right. If we use the value function here, let me expand this a little so it can be as big as the other one. Can you see that with the value function, we have converted this from a text to an actual number? And you can see that here that this it's still the same number as well. And then if we now try to add up, it should work now. You see, if we try to add up, it should work. Now the reason is that this, even though it's numerical, is aligned to the left. And anything aligned to the left, Excel sees it as a text, even if it has numbers, even if it's appearing as numbers as this is appearing. And anything aligned to the right, Excel sees it as a number. So that's why it's able to add this up and it's unable to add this up. So that's where the value function comes in, which is what we have just done here. And your take home is try using the text to column function aside the value formula. I've never used this before, so let's try and see if it works. So you said we should use the text to column.
Sorry, I have a question.
Oh yes, please do go ahead.
Yeah, apart from using the value function, if we had manually or formatted it to make that text numbers to the right, aligned it to the right, would it have worked?
Let's try. I can't talk offhand. So if we align this to the left, okay, not in this one, right? Okay, let's undo. So let's try to sum this and see what happens. So it's a 0. Yeah, so it didn't sum. Let's try to sum this and see what happens. So if it didn't sum, so we're assuming it's not a number, yeah. So this did sum. So let's now, is this what you mean? So aligning it to the right like this?
Yes.
Yes. So it still didn't work because if it worked, this should change. So it's still not seeing it. It's simply seeing it as you writing Chimdi. Sorry. It's seeing it as a text. It's because, sorry, escape. So you see, Chimdi is a text and it's aligned to the right. I can still realign this, bring it to the center, take it to the left, take it up.
Okay.
You see, so it's still seeing it as a text. It's not seeing it as anything. As it's not. It doesn't change it to a number that it's aligned. You see, so that's where the value function comes in. Yes, please. Any other question?
Yeah, I think we should try with the other number that we did. This one still has a special value character on it. Maybe that's why it's not working. But let's try with the first one we did and see if it will work.
Okay. This one.
Yes,
Okay. Which one is this one in column A or the one in column B?
the one in column B.
So what do you want me to do? I should align
The
this to the left.
alignment, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Like this?
Yeah. Then sum it. Let's see if
I
it
should
works.
sum it. Okay.
Mm.
Still not working. You see? So that you've moved it to the left because you can also still align a text, you see. Like the example I just gave here with my name, you can align a text. Aligning it doesn't really convert it to a number. So if you have to manually move it, then you've moved it still as a text because by default, numbers should always go to the left. Can you see? But if I write Ada, it stays on the right. Does this make it any clearer?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay. So by default, numbers always go to the left. If you have to manually move it, then it has to be with the value function. All right. To the chat, are there any questions? So I think we should be calling it a day here now. The reason there's a green sign before the number is because there's something before the numbers like a quote. If you tap on the number, it will show. Yes. I know that to be true as well. Actually, if I now want to have a 0 before the number, you can just put a quote. So let's see if we tap on it, but it's not always, you see, it's not here. But I know most times if I want to write 05 like this, you see, but I want it to remain at 05. Sometimes, I know have I done this before? I think so. You could put this, sorry, you could put this here. See, and then it can leave it as 05 for you, but then it sees it as a text. But that's not the case here. Maybe there's something else that was on. You see, there's nothing like that here, but I know you put that when you do not want to. Okay. But what if I don't put 0 and just leave it as 5? Okay. Another way to do it is to leave a space, but they didn't leave a space here. So I really don't know. So to get this like this, most times you want it to align to the left or whatever, align to the left or whatever reason, you can put, a little comma here and then put this, or if you want it to appear as 05 instead of 5, you can put this little quotes here and it appears that way. Okay, thank you for bringing that up. Yes. So once you put that comma on top, you've gotten the number to become a text. Yes. Yes. That means number goes to the right while letters go to the left. Yes. Correct. Numbers by default go to the right and letters by default go to the left. I've forgotten to convert the number to text. In which one, please? We've converted all the numbers to text and then we added them up and then it gave us figures. That's how we know we've changed them. Sorry if I've forgotten the number or formatted. Do you want to say formatted? Yes, if you add the apostrophe before, before any number, you're sort of converting it to a text because you want it to appear in a certain way. So that's when, you just want to have that number showing as a value, but not really in terms of, you don't intend to add it up or sum it up or use it for any mathematical reason. So you just want it to appear that way. So you can do that. Okay, so in the absence of any other questions, I think that we will stop here. I'll feedback Mr. David on where we have stopped so far so that in your next class, he wouldn't have to repeat it like what happened again before. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies once again for all of the troubles that we went through today due to my inability to comfortably share my screen at some point, having network issues and taking some time to being added to this stage. And thank you so much again for all your patience and remaining here up until this time. I hope that you have been able to get some value that will lead you either in your business or in your job or help you be able to transition from where you are now into data analysis if you so like the part like I did. If you want to get some more information about, get better with this, I'll strongly encourage you to go ahead and register for the next cohort of the Health Techies data analysis classes. You'll get lots of value from there and it will help you springboard your career. Hopefully I'll be able to see you again next time. And even if I do not, I hope I've been able to impact your life a little bit. And thank you so much for all of your contributions and your interactions and correcting me and, nuggets and every single thing. It's just been an amazing time with you. So if I do not see you again, pass so long hugs to you. If I see you again, may we meet in a higher note. Thank you so very much. God bless you. Bye.